So this is the same model which we use, and the data was shared with my students also. But this time we are talking about the mediation and moderation cost. That's why we are more interested in the structural model. Remember to refresh your memory. Let me just explain a few points here. If we talk about the model, this is the relationship between the items and their latent constructs is called your measurement model. And these blue ones, the relationship between the latent construct is your structural model. Okay. So what we do, this is called a direct hypothesis or direct relationship. And now there is no mediator involved in this case. This is what we learned in the last section. We just quickly go through that, what we learned. We need to test the hypothesis. So I'm not dealing with the measurement model. If those who don't understand about the measurement or structural model, they can watch this video, the previous sessions video. Dr. Nabil will share it after the session. So you can watch those videos and you can be clear about the structural and measurement model and how we assess those models. Okay, here I have to hide all these indicators because I'm just concerned with the structural model. Now this is our structural model. Now this structural model reflects the relationship between blogging, search engine optimization, mobile application, and social media marketing on ecotourism. So this is a study from my student. So that is why I use this data with his permission. So I'm really grateful he allowed me to use this data. So this is basically the digital marketing and ecotourism relationship. So in the digital marketing, we have different options. Here he mentioned four this relationship: blogging, search engine optimization, mobile application, and social media, and the effect on ecotourism. Okay, so this is a simple conceptual model for direct relationship. So how we do analyze the direct relationship, directly calculate, and I'm interested in P and T value. Here I will mostly interested in the P and T value. That's why I just go with the bootstrapping. Okay, so I have already shared this method of using bootstrapping in smart pls in my previous video, so you can check out. This is the model, and if you can see that in this model, this is the coefficient and this is the p value. Let me again explain it. Sorry. Okay, so if we see, these all results are basically, I changed it to two things. This one is your path coefficient, okay, and this one is your p value. Okay, so as I mentioned, to test whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected, there is only one criteria we usually follow, is p value. So p value is less than 0.05. It means that the direct relationship exists between these variables. Okay. Now this is where the theory comes in, and you have to be more vigilant here. So you know these p values and path coefficients, or we can consider them the basics of hypothesis testing. Now, can you tell me how many hypotheses in this model are being accepted and how many are being rejected if I consider p-value less than 0.05? So 95% confidence interval. So what do you think, how many hypotheses have been accepted and how many hypotheses have been rejected? Can you write your answer quickly in the answer box. This is H1, this is H2, this is H3, and this is H4. So there are four hypotheses, direct hypothesis. Can you tell me how many of these hypotheses have been accepted and how many have been rejected? So can you give me your answer in the chat box quickly? Uh, yes, you are right. Most of your answers are correct. H1 accepted, H2 rejected at 95%. Yes, we can accept it if we go at 90%, but we'll do it less likely. So H2 also rejected. H3, we have p-value above than 0.05. It means that that is also rejected. And then H4 is accepted. Okay. So now there are two hypotheses which have been accepted and two hypotheses which have been rejected, right? So two hypotheses accepted and two hypotheses rejected, H1 and H4 in the direct effect. So let's go back to this presentation where I mentioned a few methods. Can you see my slide now? Right? Okay, so let's talk about, we are done with the direct hypothesis. Now, let's talk about the different methods. Now, we are talking about the mediation analysis. I will include one mediator in this model. So that's why consider we are talking about the mediation. Now let's talk about the first method is Baron and Kenny. If we are following Baron and Kenny method, so first step is independent and dependent variable. There should be a relationship between independent and dependent variable. Now consider how many hypotheses can have mediation or cannot have. H1 independent and dependent accepted, right? We can have mediation. Yes, we can follow to the next step, not confirm that mediation will exist, but there is a possibility, right? So first one, yes. For the second hypothesis, direct is rejected. So step one, rejected. It means that no possibility of any mediation. Okay. So H2, no mediation possible because there is no direct relationship. H3, no relationship because direct relationship does not exist. Okay. H4, yes, we can go with the second step. Okay. Now, I'm just talking about the direct effect. I have not included any mediator in the model. Okay. Please remember, I have not included any mediator in the model. And without entering any mediator, I'm trying to assess whether mediation can exist or not in these four variables, four independent variables and their relationship with the dependent variable. Step one, not acceptable. Okay, let's go with the second method. Second method was basically Preacher and Hayes method. It says that you don't need to check the direct effect, you can just go with the indirect effect. It means that whether the direct effect exists or not, still there is a possibility for mediation analysis or mediation relationship. So according to Preacher and Hayes, how many mediations are possible? All four or H1 and H4? Yes, according to this method, good. According to this method, all possibilities are there because we have not introduced Yes, we have not introduced any mediator in the model, right? This is perfect, okay? Now let's move on to the next step where Hare et al. According to Hare et al., what we need to do is we need to assess the significance of the direct effect P1 to 3, path coefficient 1, 3, without including the mediator variable in the PLS path model. The direct effect is not significant, no mediation effect. Direct effect, significant, mediation exists. So what is the possibility as per Hare et al? How many mediation possible in this model? Again, good. So you are following my concept now, okay? It depends on the method. Sometime, for example, we don't want to sacrifice our two mediators. So we will switch our method to Preacher and Hale and say, okay, we'll just check the indirect effects. Okay, I will explain these later. That's why I use this model, because it have so many things to learn. Okay, now we are clear, and we are clear about this thing. Based on this step, two mediation exist and two mediation they do not exist. Clear? So let's move on to the next step, which is next method, which is Zhou et al. 2010. What does it say? It's significance of indirect effect. You don't need to check the significance of direct effect. Okay, so you need to check the significance of indirect effect. Okay, now this is where two methods are telling you something different and two methods are telling you something different. Okay, now this is where your decisions come in. What you want to do, you want to go with the 4 mediation, or you will say, okay, 2 mediation, they don't have direct effect, so we will say no mediation exists. Okay, now this is where you can decide based on your analysis or based on your studies. Okay, remember what is your decision. You can choose any method. This is the beauty of statistics. You can use it for your purposes. It means that if there is a disagreement between the researchers, you can use this opportunity to reflect or to support your arguments. Okay, in some cases, especially when we are dealing with this okay, now when we are dealing with this situation where most of our mediation hypotheses are being rejected based on direct effect, so we can move to other approaches. So approaches are there. I'm not saying any approach is right or any approach is wrong. I just showed you how you can use them. Okay, so clear? So some decisions can be made without including mediator in the model. Okay, so that is something you need to learn. So I have just analyzed the direct effect, and I can tell you based on Preacher and Hayes and based on Zhou et al. All can have mediation. Based on Barron and Kenny and Hare et al., there is only possibility of mediation in two variables, which is blocking and social media. Okay, clear? Do you understand my point? Can we move on? Now the first step is completed. Clear? Okay, let's talk about entering one mediator. Now here I have DI, which is destination image. This destination image can be a mediator. Okay, if you want to see how I bring this model or this variable in this model, you can just watch my previous video without any further hesitation. There is no problem. I'm hiding this because for now, I'm just talking about the concepts. I'm not dealing with the measurement model for now. Later on, if we need to do it, you can watch other videos and set it. All those applications or all those theories or measurements which you do for measurement model validation and structural model validation, you must need to do it for the mediation and moderation also. Okay, so it is no exception. But here, to make it easy to be on focus on our work, I'll just focus on mediation part. Okay, so what I am doing, I'm drawing this indirect effect. Now it is simple. If I want to reach to ecotourism from the blogging, I have two methods now, or two paths. Okay, so first path is I can move either directly from here to here. This is called direct effect, or I can use an indirect effect. Okay. Now there are two paths available for me to reach from blogging to ecotourism. This is called direct and indirect effect. Okay. So direct effect is blogging to ecotourism, and indirect effect is destination image to ecotourism. Okay. Clear? So this is basically your indirect and direct effect. So this is called one, this is called path 2, and this is called path 1, 3. Okay, sorry, this is 1, 2, and this is 2, 3. This is your variable number 1. Remember this one. This is your variable number 2, and this is your variable number 3. So if this is your variable number 1, 2, 3. So this path can be considered as path 1, 2, 3. This can be 1 to 2, and this can be 2 to 3. These are the numbers which have been used in the in the books. Okay, so just to make yourself familiar with those calculations. Okay, but here again I have entered one mediator variable. Now this model looks like it is combination of direct and indirect effects. Okay. Now how we can test the indirect effect? For those, here I will ask for those who are new, who are dealing with my final year project or master study. They just need to check the indirect effect. So I have already prepared some simple methods for you, how we can report it. So if you see, I have developed this reporting mechanism. You can follow this method. So what you need to do is, this is hypothesis, or we call path. So path 1 to 2, path 2 to 3, and then path 1 to 3. So these all are basically different paths available. Okay, so this is hypothesis. Which hypothesis you want to test, it depending on your model. So let me bring one hypothesis from here. For example, I'm talking about the blogging to destination image to ecotourism. Okay, so here it would be like this: blogging to destination image, and from destination image to ecotourism. This is your indirect hypothesis. So what you need to do is, you just need to calculate indirect effect, the p-value, upper and lower, and then you can just conclude the mediation. This is the most simple method provided by Preacher and Hayes. How we can do that? It is very simple. Just go to calculate and use the bootstrapping. As I mentioned in my previous videos, we can use 1000 or 5000, 1000 minimum. So I use it at 1000 sample size, subsample. So I just start the bootstrapping. Now my calculations are being done, and now I can assess the mediation effect. So this method is basically Preacher and Hayes method, in which we will just test the indirect effects. Okay, so we'll just test the indirect effects. How you can check the indirect effects? If you go down there, here at the bottom, you can see that this is specific indirect effects. So click on this specific indirect effects. You will see this table, and this table okay, now this is our hypothesis which I am interested in. This is blogging, ecotourism, and destination image. Okay. Now this is the path coefficient. This is the statistics. This is standard deviation, sample mean, and this is p-value. So this all information is about indirect effects. Okay. So because I have already mentioned that this information is about indirect effects. So if I conclude this hypothesis based on the indirect effect, can you tell me whether blogging from destination image to ecotourism indirect effect is significant or not? PLS will calculate indirect effects for you by itself. You don't need to calculate anything. Okay. So we are talking about first method, which is direct. We just check indirect effects. So which indirect effects are significant and which indirect effects are not significant. So here I have explained this specific indirect effects, and you can see that the blogging, destination image, and ecotourism, the indirect effect is insignificant and it shows in green. So what is your conclusion here? Mediation exists or not? Okay. The question is this: can we embed more than one approaches in a single study? I don't think so. It is better just to follow one method and provide argument to strengthen that your method is very trusted and reliable in this current situation. Okay, so just follow one method in. PLS will calculate everything. You don't need to calculate anything separately. So that is why it is more powerful software. Okay. So the first and simple method is we are talking about whether the mediation exists or not. And we can decide it based on very simple method. We can just directly check the indirect effects. If the indirect effects are significant, we can say that mediation exists, and if the indirect effects are insignificant, we can just say that mediation do not exist, and copy and paste this method and include in this. But here is one small trick. Okay, how to interpret the coefficient. Okay, so the coefficient is basically and effect, the combined effect of these two variables on ecotourism. Okay, so we can say that the indirect effect of blogging through mediation of destination image is 0.024. Let me explain again, because somebody asked me to explain the path coefficient and the table here. Okay, I'm talking about the last line here. In this line, you can see the blogging, destination image, and ecotourism. So what we are doing is we are testing the indirect effect of blogging on ecotourism through destination image. Okay. So this is the explanation. The indirect effect of blogging on ecotourism through destination image is 0.024 with the p-value 0.226 and t-value 1.211, which states that this indirect effect is not supported or not significant. Okay, so that is a simple explanation of this first mediation. Okay, clear? Okay, some natural relationships are not significant, like in this case, how we can argue. Okay, remember, go with the data. If your questionnaire is fully developed through the psychometric techniques and it is acceptable, and you have collected data. The mostly I saw people, they try to manipulate data in order to collect the result they want. This is not a right method. Okay, so this is not a right method to do that. Just follow what is available based on your data. So data is an evidence. Okay, so you can just reply or just give it the arguments. Okay, for example, blogging destination image, and ecotourism. If it is not acceptable, you have to provide some discussion why this is happening, okay, in a real sense or in natural state. So you have to just give the explanation rather than changing the data and bringing the false arguments, okay. So just try to develop and find out some studies who have already find the similar relationship. I would not recommend you to change your data, change your model, or change anything, because this is the true reflection of from your respondent. So obviously, data will be in a better position to evident that this relationship exists or not in reality. There may be many other factors, for example, the cultural issues. Somehow, some culture they are not very much familiar with the blogging. Maybe the people are not using it up to that level. That's why they are not using it to develop destination image, and in return, they are not developing ecotourism sense. That is practically possible to defend your result rather than changing it. Okay, so the first part I think is very clear. Um, when we do one-tailed or two-tailed test, okay, one-tailed and two-tailed tests are very simple. If you have your hypothesis, for example, you are saying that there is a positive relationship, obviously you are using one-tailed test. And if you have hypothesis that there is a relationship without saying it positive or negative, it means that you are using two-tailed test. But this is not the point of discussion for this video because it will take a lot of time. But I have one session on 5th of June, so you can join that session to ask this question whether we can go with the one tail or two tail test, because I'm going to explain in detail hypothesis testing from basic to advanced level. Okay, so I think with this we are clear with the first method for those especially final year project or master student. For them, indirect effects are fair enough to justify your mediation exist or not. You don't need to go in detail or advanced level of mediation analysis, okay? And you can refer back to Preacher and Gage method, which is 2004, 2008, and then they have other articles also. So just follow them. And this is very simple method. Just copy and paste this in your research model, and then you just follow. Okay, now we can export these results to Excel sheet without any further. How we can do that? You can just click on the export to Excel, and Excel will give you a detailed analysis report. Now, why I need this report here? If you can see indirect effect, we can find out p-value. We have already done it, but this upper and lower limit, this is also another condition from Preacher and Hay. If you are following just a simple method through indirect effect, you must need to see the upper and lower limits for the confidence interval of 5. Okay, I will show you how you can calculate that. So for example, I'm talking about the indirect effects. Okay, now this is my indirect effects in the picture. For example, I was talking about, sorry, indirect effects. Okay, now this is indirect effect which I was looking at. If you see this last one, we have this value, we have this value, all this is same. But here I have confidence interval. This is 2.5 and this is 95.5, which is called lower and upper confidence level. So we have to write these values also. So let me complete this table. You can watch this video later on to complete this table. For example, blogging and logging to EI, destination image, and from here to ecotourism. Okay. Now this is hypothesis which we want to test, mediation. From here you can bring the path coefficient, which I can copy and paste here, indirect effect. So p-value is already there, bootstrapping p-value. So this is the p-value. You can just bring it here. And now you need to bring this lower and upper limits also. Okay, so this is also very important parameter to be reported in your paper or in your thesis. Okay, now this is your 2.5 lower limit, and this is your upper limit. I am just bringing here, and we can say that it is not. Okay, now this is important calculation. We need to bring lower confidence level. We need to bring upper confidence level. Why we need it? We need to understand this point is very important. If we are using simply indirect method, okay. So the Preacher and Hayes, this says that the lower and upper confidence interval both should be on the same side if you want to see whether your mediation exists or not. No matter if your P is significant, let me show you. If your P, for example, is significant 0.02, which is less than 0.05, for example, consider this is significant, but your upper and lower limits are opposite in direction, means that there is a zero between upper and lower boundary. We call it zero because one value is negative and one value is positive. It means that there is a zero between these two values. If both are on the same side, it is okay. Both are on the opposite side, it means that there must be a zero between upper and lower boundary. In that case, even though your p-value is less than 0.05, you cannot say that the mediation is supported. Still, mediation is not supported. This is very important point which many researcher or many friends, they don't follow this, but you must need to follow if you are following Preacher and Hayes method. Okay, so clear? So we are done with the simple method, Preacher and Hayes. A basic step, you just need to develop your indirect model, introduce your mediator, run the calculation and check your bootstrapping indirect effects. If the indirect effects are significant, we say mediation exists, and if the indirect effects are not significant, we say mediation do not exist. But we have to check the upper and lower confidence interval also, this one. Okay, and how you can do that I have already explained. You can just export your Excel sheet and copy and paste these lower and upper boundaries from get here. Okay, so 2.5 is lower and 97.5 is the upper one. Okay, so this is simple mediation. I hope so the concept is clear here. Any point, any question here, you can write in the chat box, and if it is clear, we can go with the next method. Okay, so is it clear? Okay, so upper and lower limit. Okay, so upper and lower limit, you can just export your Excel sheet of the result, and you can see with this you will have another table of confidence interval. In this confidence interval, you will find the upper and lower limits. So that is how you can report it. I have prepared this table for you. You have to report your hypothesis, indirect effect, which is the path coefficient of indirect effect. Okay, and then p-value, I took it from that value, and then I bring lower and upper levels here. Okay, and to make the decision whether our mediation exists or not exists, we just not to look at the p-value. P-value is one indicator. The second one is lower and upper confidence interval. So lower level and upper level should be on the same side. If they are positive, both should be positive. If they are negative, both should be negative. There should be no zero value between upper and lower confidence interval level. If it exists, even though your p-value is less, you cannot say that mediation exists. This is the main example by Preacher and Case. Okay, why we do this? Because there is a statistical reason behind that. When we have zero between upper and lower boundaries, it means that we are not confident enough that our bootstrapping have produced a confirmed result, because there is a problem with the bootstrapping result also. Okay, that shows that we are not confident enough to answer our question or to accept the mediation hypothesis. Okay, clear? So yes, it can be. It can be opposite. Any opposite directions are same. Okay, but remember the point is there should be no zero between these two points. Okay, clear? Okay, two mediators. It depends. It depends on the situation. There are different types of the mediation, parallel or serial mediation. I will explain this in the next. But let's talk about the simple mediation model here, because understanding mediation is a difficult task somehow. So let's talk about the different methods, and then we will talk about the serial and parallel mediation in future also. Okay, if I find time, I will give you this lecture also on the parallel or serial mediation. But for now, let's make it simple for those who are new. This is the simple mediation model, and I think most of us, we understand this model, and we have done our analysis, and we can report the result in the following format. Okay, in this format, and we can just explain each value and give our result. So mediation is not supported in this case. So this is a very simple method as per Preacher and Case method. Okay, so if you want to follow this, that's it. Your mediation is done. Okay, so you don't need to go further. Just click introduce your mediator and go with the indirect effect. So you don't need to go with that theory which I have mentioned and the detail of different authors. You don't need to do that. At your level, final year project for bachelor's or master's degree holder, you don't need to go in detail. But for those who are dealing with the research article, high quality research article, and also with the thesis, PhD thesis, you must need to go beyond this conventional method or just simple method. So what we can do else? What is the next level? So I have prepared one table for you for the next level also. Now we have different method. I just explained the one method. It is very simple. Just do indirect effect, and if indirect effect is significant, we can just go with that, and we can say that the mediation exists. So mediation process stops here. We just need to see upper and lower limit. But let's talk about at all 2000, and I think it is 2014 or 11 book. Okay, you can find out this book. Let's talk about this method. Let me show you again this presentation. Let's talk about this method. Now, how we can calculate this method? And if you are working for a high quality research article, or you are working for your PhD thesis, I would prefer to go with this approach. It's very good, and it gives you more detail. Okay, and it is also latest, so you can follow this approach without any further hesitation. Okay, now how we can do that? So we have to run this analysis in different parts. Okay, different methods. So let's talk about, sorry. Let's talk about these steps one by one. So first step, as I mentioned here, you remember P1 and 3. So we need to test the direct relationship P1 and 3. Okay. Then we see whether the direct effect exists or not. If exists, then we go with the further method, which is to include the mediator and test the indirect effect. Remember, indirect effect is this P12 and P 2, 3, the path coefficient, okay, so of 1, 2 and 1, 3. So P, it is also named as rho or any other name. So this is path coefficient 1, 2 and path coefficient 2, 3. So if the indirect effect is significant, then we have to check the VAF. So let's talk about this method. A bit detailed, but very, very good method of testing the mediation, and especially the partial and full mediation. Okay, let's see. Here, I want to do it again, but let's make it more simple in simple form. So just delete all other people. Just go with, sorry, I don't think so. There is, okay. Okay, let's talk about this variable. Okay. Now, first thing first, we have to check the P1 and 3. Okay. If you remember, I told you the dependent variable is your third variable and independent is your first variable. Okay. So let's just calculate the bootstrapping directly. Now you can see the direct effect is 0.467 and p value is 0.000. Now let's bring this value here without mediator, which is we are talking about blocking. Then we have destination image, and then we have the last one is ecotourism. Okay. Now without mediator blocking, and this is 0.467, I think, and the significance is 0.00. Let's check it again whether it is correct or not. Okay, yes, 0.467 and 00. Okay, clear? So what I did, I just bring it here, and this is the significance value 00. Now with mediator we have to bring the direct effect. Now let's introduce our mediator. So mediator is destination image. Just hide these indicators, and this is our mediation. Now let's run this again. Now you can see that the same variable, but now I'm checking it through the Hare et al. Method. Now this relationship is 0.216, but it is still significant. Let's move on and bring this value here, 0.218, and still significant. Let's see. Now what is indirect effect here? Now to check the indirect effects, I'll just go here again and I'll check the indirect effect. You can see the indirect effect is 0.241. Let's bring this upper and lower confidence level here. Just let me bring it. I just export this Excel sheet so we can bring all this value here. But if we just want to bring the confidence interval, we can just click here and bring this confidence interval into our data. Okay. So we don't need to export actually, but I prefer because there are a lot of other options available. So let's see the confidence level 0.168 and 0.328. 0.168 and 0.368, I think. What is this? 320. Now, what do you think? Mediation exists or not? Mediation exists or not? Now, this is why I choose this data. you can see that when I run it with the all other variables, this was not existing. Okay, this mediation was not exist. Okay, now we cannot say this mediation supported with all other four. Now I'm testing it on the here at all method, and you can see that it is giving us a different result, and all those values are different. This is how different types of the mediation, they totally give you different result. Okay, so that is why we can play with the data and we can conclude what we want to do. If you are not comfortable with method 1, you can go with the method 2 or 3 and try to test your mediation in the different methods also. Okay, now let's move on with this results, very important results now. So we are clear about this. Here I need total effects also. Why I need total effects, let me tell you in a while. So total effects basically from blogging to ecotourism. This latent variable 1, show you this latent variable 1 is basically your, let me run it again. With including this name, so things would be easier for us. Let me calculate again. Okay, now we need total effects. Okay, so total effect is basically the combination of direct and indirect effects. Okay, so let me check the total effects. So total effect of blogging on ecotourism. I'm interested in blogging and ecotourism. So there are two methods or two medium or two effects. One blogging directly and one blogging indirectly. So how blogging is affecting ecotourism, this is my total effect. Okay, so it is affecting directly with the value of 0.218 and it is also affecting indirectly with the value of 0.214, I think. Okay, so let's talk about its direct effect, blogging on tourism. So the total effect is 0.459. So here I mentioned 0.459. So everything is clear here. Any point of discussion or any confusion? So 0.49. Why I choose this, I will tell you in a while. But this table is clear. All these values are clear. Any question at this point? If any confusion? Yes, if you have a complex model, you have to make different calculations. Yes, this is here all at all method. So if you want to do multiple model or model with multiple mediations or multiple independent, you have to run this analysis again and again. Okay. Variable significance, we don't need to compare, because in statistics, if something is significant, it is significant. If it is not, it is not. So significance is nothing to clear. It is either significant or not significant. There is nothing in between. Okay. Now let's talk about the next point here. Why I choose all these options. So let's go here. Okay. Now we are done with this point. We have indirect effects, we have direct effects, right? Now, indirect effect is significant. Next step is to check the variation accounted for or the variance accounted for. This is what we are going to learn now. If your variation or variance accounted for is greater than 80%, the mediation is full. If it is less than 20 to 80%, it is partial mediation, and if it is less than 20%, we say that it is no mediation. Okay, remember these three conditions. Variation accounted for, if it is greater than 80%, it is full mediation. It means that the indirect path having more than 80% weightage. Okay, so it means that it is more significant as a full mediation. If it is less than 80%, up till 20%, we can say partial mediation. But if it is less than 20%, we can say that no mediation exists. So how we calculate this? Okay, a very simple method. VF is basically the value of indirect effect divided by the value of total effects. Okay. Okay. So these three conditions are clear. So if I ask you what are the three conditions of mediation as per here at all, can you write here in the chat box what are the conditions for mediation, full mediation, partial, and no mediation? Can you tell me quickly in the chat box what are the conditions? Please, I need your reply if you. Okay, how we can calculate this one? It's very simple. We just need to check here the indirect effect. This is the indirect effect divided by total effects. Okay, so these two columns and multiply it with 100 or just take the percentage. Okay, so this is for 53%. So what is the result? What I did again, please understand this point. So VF variation accounted for is the ratio between indirect effect and the total effect. So we divided indirect effect, which we bring it here, and divided by the total effect. So what is the result? It is 53. So what is the result for my mediation? Partial, full, or no mediation? Great. So I think the concept is very clear and the calculation is clear. Okay. So you can use this table in simple way, and then we can say that partial mediation. Okay. Any confusion here? I think the calculation is very simple and very clear because when I read the book, it looks so much difficult, but it is not very difficult. It's very simple and a very clear calculation. So you can do it very simply. Okay. So I think this point is clear. Let's move on to the next point. Okay, now we are clear about the mediation process. Okay, so the mediation model is clear based on Hare et al. Method. Okay, let's move next point. I think this model is very clear. If you want to see this one, you can use this picture, and you can find out this on page number 22-24. A premiere on partial least square. This is, I think, 2014 book, so you can use this book for your reference. Okay, let's talk about this method. Now, first we need to test the significant effect of indirect effect. Now we don't need to check the direct effect. So this method is more clear and more simple. Okay. So what we need to do, check indirect effect, and if the indirect effect is significant, we check whether the direct effect is significant or not. Let's see whether this condition is applicable or not. Okay. Now for this model, now I'm moving toward the final method, which is which is Zhou et al. 2010 method. Now, in this method, he says that first we need to calculate the indirect effect. If I say indirect effect, we have already calculated it is 0.241. Okay, so the software have calculated it for us. So the value is 0.241. Okay, clear? This is first thing. The second thing is to check the direct effect. Once indirect effect is significant, mediation exists. If indirect effect is not significant, mediation do not exist. Okay, clear? Now, once this mediation exists, we have to check the direct effect. And if this direct effect is still significant, so we say the mediation is, if this is significant, the mediation is partial. If this direct effect is insignificant, the mediation is full. Okay, so he based his decision on Barron and Kenny approach, but he is not using all Barron and Kenny approach. He is just saying that check the indirect effect, and if indirect effect significant, we can say that mediation exists. But if indirect effect is significant and at the same time direct effect in that model is insignificant, we can say the full mediation exists, and otherwise we can say partial mediation exists. So this method is also same, but with a little variation. It uses the Barron and Kenny approach to determine whether the mediation is partial or full. Is it clear? So I think this is nothing to worry about. We can just conclude it on a very simple basis. We can say whether the direct effect is significant or not. We can determine our model. Okay. So wait, there is a question. Let me take this one. Okay, the partial or full mediation is based on the p-value. Munir Abbasi asked this. The partial or full mediation depending on the direct effect. This is the method of Zhou 2010. Okay, depending on which method you are using. Okay, so full mediation, if the p-value of the direct effect is greater than 0.05, mean that the direct effect is insignificant or non-significant, then you can say that the mediation is full. Otherwise, the mediation is partial. Okay, if you are using Preacher and Hayes method, you are using different formula. If you are using, because there is no full or partial mediation, if you are using Hare et al., you are not deciding partial or full based on p-values. You are deciding it based on the variance accounted for method, VAF method. Okay, so all three methods have different calculations. Okay, and I have explained all three calculations to you in detail. So you can use any type of mediation model. It depends on you. It's your choice. My role was to give you options. So options are there. How you use them, it's your choice, because there are multiple options available. Okay. I think with this we conclude the mediation model. Let's yes, for Zhou et al., the p-value of direct effect, yes, you are right, but it is depending on the method. So